Hi, hello dear learners of English grammar. Welcome back to my Grammar for All channel. I'm Koresh Babu, a retired lecturer in English from Hyderabad. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a brief idea about the basic parts of a sentence. Okay, I hope that this grammatical aspect will surely help expand your knowledge of English. If you are interested in this topic, please stick around till the end. Now let's get into this video. Basic parts of a sentence, right? And in my previous video I have dealt with the basic parts of basic kinds of a sentence, basic kinds of sentences. Okay, and you know very well, assertive sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, and what is that, exclamatory sentence, like that, the basic kinds of sentences. About that, I gave you some idea, and here in this video I'm going to give you some beautiful idea about the basic parts of a sentence. And this grammatical aspect is very very important for everybody, anybody can watch it, all the students can watch it, all the what is that, people also can watch it and benefit from this video. And now let's get into the video, right? Every sentence consists of two main parts. You know very well, in the previous two videos I have dealt very elaborately with the kinds of sentences, with the various kinds of sentences, right? And please watch those two videos. Now you are going to learn about the parts of a sentence. You see, every sentence generally consists of two parts. They are called basic parts. What are the basic parts? Let us now know. What is that? The subject part, that's good. And then comes the predicate part, right? These are the two basic parts, the subject part and the predicate part. And then what is this subject part? Subject part tells us, very simple, tells us what? The person, okay, the person, the place, or the thing, right? We talk about, we talk, we talk about in the sentence. You see, in you take any sentence, in that sentence we shall be talking either about some person or some, you can say, the place or thing. We shall be talking about the person, the place or thing. So this part tells us the that person or that place or that thing. So this is only the job this subject part does, right? So once again, the subject part tells us the person, the place or thing we talk about in that sentence. Point is clear. And now you go to the predicate part. What does this predicate part do? It tells us, what is that? Something, something about, okay, something about what? The person, right? The person, the place, or the thing we talk about, okay, we talk about in the sentence. That is there, we talk about, it tells us the only the person, the place or thing we talk about in the sentence. But this predicate part tells us something about the person, place, the thing we talk about in that sentence. Okay, so this is there. I'll give you a few examples to make you this concept very simple, very easy. Now you just pay attention to these. What is that? Now Mohan is an intelligent boy. And here, what are we talking, who are we talking about in this who are we talking about in this sentence? We are talking about Mohan. Mohan is the subject part. And what are we talking about this subject part? That he is an intelligent boy. This is the predicate part. See, we are talking about Mohan. This Mohan is the subject part, and we are talking about this in the sentence. And what is said about this Mohan? Is an intelligent boy. Is an intelligent boy is said about this Mohan. So therefore, whatever is said about the subject part is called the predicate part. Okay, and here you go to the next example. Hyderabad is the capital of Telangana. What are we talking about in this sentence? We are talking about this Hyderabad, that's the place. Okay, and this is the subject part. What is said about this subject part is the capital of Telangana, is the predicate part. Whatever is said about the subject part is called the predicate part. Okay, right. And here you pay attention. One more example. The Australians are practicing cricket. Who are we talking about in this sentence? We are talking about the Australians. This is the subject part. What is said about these subject are practicing cricket? This is the predicate part. And here you pay attention. One more example I would like to give you. All the rivers are overflowing their banks. All the rivers are overflowing their banks. And what are we talking about in the sentence? We are talking about all the rivers. So this is the subject part. What is said about this subject part? Are flowing, overflowing their banks. This is the predicate part. So in this way, yes, each and every sentence normally consists of two parts. What is that? Subject part and the predicate part. The subject part and the predicate part. Now this concept you have understood. Now let's go to the next slide and learn other important things. Right. And here some important points about the subject part and the predicate part. Some important points about the subject part and predicate part. Okay, what are the important points? See, number one, the subject part and the predicate part may each consist of one or more words. See, the subject part may consist of one word or many words. The predicate part may consist of one word or many words. Here I would like to give you some examples to make you understand that. Subject and predicate. Here you see airplanes. This is only one word. The subject part has got only one word, and predicate part has got a Jew. They go very fast, making a buzzing sound. Okay, airplanes zoom. What is that? Cows give us milk. So the subject part has only one word, whereas the predicate part has got three words, right? And here the next one is there. Birds fly in the sky. The subject part has only one word, whereas in the predicate part there are four words. You can watch it. Barking dogs seldom bite. So now the subject part has got two words and the predicate part has got two words. And here one more example. The poor little girl. See, the subject part has got one, two, three, four. Four words are there. And predicate part has got sat in a corner, has got four words. And one more example, I think it is there. The boys of our school. See, the boys of our school. Five words are there in the subject part, whereas in the predicate part there are made Mohan captain. Three words are there. In this way, one point you have learned here. These are all important points about the subject part and the predicate part. This is the first point. What is the first point you have learned? The subject part may consist of one word or many words. The predicate part may consist of one word or many words. That's all the point you have learned now here. And here, let's go to the next important point. What is that next important point? The subject part is usually placed at the beginning of the sentence. Dear learners of English grammar, the subject part is always, generally or always, at the beginning of the sentence. It's a normal thing. It's a general thing. Okay, the subject part is always at the beginning of the sentence. And now let us take some examples to understand this one. The Himalayas are the highest mountains in the world. So what are we talking about in the sentence? We are talking about the Himalayas, and whatever we talk about, whoever we talk about in the sentence is called only the subject part. Here we are talking about the Himalayas. This is the subject part. The remaining is the predicate part. Okay, and here barking dogs seldom bite. Here we are talking about barking dogs. This is a subject part. Okay, and here what is that? The girl wearing a red frock is my sister. You see, the girl wearing a red frock. No, this is the subject part. Here you see the girl wearing a red frock. All these words are describing this girl. Okay, so the girl wearing a red frock is my sister. This we are talking about this girl, and therefore this entire part is called the subject part. And here the elephant is the largest land animal. The elephant, what are we talking about in this sentence? We are talking about the elephant. That's the subject part. And what are we talking about? The elephant is the largest land. This is the predicate part. Very simple, you can easily understand. It's very simple item I'm teaching you today. The boat struck by great waves sank in the water. We are talking, what are we talking about in the sentence? The boat. This is the subject part. Of course, struck by a great wave. All these words are, this entire phrase, entire, you can say, structure, is describing or qualifying this boat. What kind of boat? Struck by a great wave. So all these words are describing the boat. So all these words are taken under the subject part only. And here the boat struck by a great wave is called the subject part, and sank in the what are we talking about? This boat sank in the sea. That is the predicate part. So in this way, generally, normally, the subject of the sentence is placed at the beginning only. The subject is placed only at the beginning of the sentence. Clear? Now let's go to the next important point. And occasionally the subject part, what is that? Occasionally the subject part is put after the predicate. Okay. Predicate means, in other words, you can say verb. Verb. After the verb. Subject is always before the verb. And occasionally the subject part may be after the verb in certain sentences. In certain sentences, not in all kinds of sentences, but in some kind of sentences, in certain sentences, it's like that. Now pay attention to that. What is that? Here comes the bus. What are we talking about in this sentence? The bus. This is a subject part. What are we saying about this subject? Comes here. Here comes. So we have reversed the sentence structure. Actually, the sentence is supposed to be the bus comes here. It is supposed to be like this. But if we say this, the bus comes here, it is looking somewhat odd and awkward also, somewhat odd. But if you say here comes the bus, it's a stylish way of saying the things. Here comes the bus. Very interesting. And similarly, I'll give you, here is an example. While teaching something in the class, what does your teacher say? Your teacher says, hello, here is an example for you. I am also saying, here is an example for you. You cannot say, yes, what is that? Don't say, what is that? An example is here. An example is here. You cannot generally say this, because this kind of statement looks awkward or odd. Odd means somewhat strange. An example is here. I don't say, here is an example. You are beginning the sentence with here. Okay, and then comes there are your keys. Okay, there are your keys. This is the verb. This is the predicate. See, predicate. This is the predicate part. This is the subject part. The predicate part and the subject part are inverted. They have changed their positions. Okay, your keys are there. That should be the sentence. But here, there are your keys. Hello, there are your keys. Your keys are there is not the right one. So there are your keys, something like that. And here you see, sweet are the uses of adversity. So here, the blue colored, you can say, sentence is the predicate part. The remaining is the subject part. The uses of adversity are sweet. The sentence is supposed to be like this. The uses of adversity are sweet. So it is supposed to be so, but it cannot, it doesn't look nice. Now the sentence is looking so sweet and all that. Sweet are the uses of adversity. Sweet are the uses of adversity. Yes. And one more, blessed are the people who take pity on the poor. So here, blessed are, the green, blue colored part is the predicate part. Who are we talking about in these people? In this sentence, the people who take pity on the poor. So the complete part is called a subject part. This is complete. The people who take pity on the poor. This is the subject. We are talking about the people who take pity on the. So this entire part is called the subject, and the blessed are is the predicate part. So in this way, in certain sentences like these, the you can say subject part is placed after the predicate part. Okay, and this is one more important point you are learning about the you can say position of predicate subject part and predicate part. One more. Fourth, the pronoun it is used in the place of the real subject. So this is another important thing. You please learn all these things so that you can have a very good idea about the subject part and the predicate part. Okay, one must have the knowledge of these basic parts of a sentence. Otherwise, he may be in a confusion. Arey, why is this part here, why is this part there, why is the subject part here, why is the predicate part here? He may get confused. So varieties of things I'm telling you. So instead of the real subject, sometimes we use it. How? Here you see that. Yes, one example, it is raining. It, the blue part, it, what does it stand here? Actually it stands here for the rain, but you don't say the rain is raining. In English, you don't say the rain is raining, the snow is snowing, the thunder is thundering. All such things are awkward, right? They say it is raining. Suppose your teacher says, "Hey, what is it raining?" Sir, it is raining, sir, outside. You are telling your teacher, "Sir, it is raining outside. It is raining heavily. It is raining." You cannot say the rain is raining heavily. No, no, no. So it is raining heavily, or it is raining, anything you can say. And next, it was thundering. What does it stand here? It stands for what is that? The thunder. The thunder. This it stands for the thunder. It was thundering, sir. It was thundering outside, sir. I can't go home alone, all alone. So but sentence it was thundering means the thunder was thundering. But you cannot say that. The thunder was thundering, the rain was raining. All such constructions are what is that awkward and ugly and odd also. Therefore, avoid such sentences. You begin the sentence with it. It is 5 o'clock. Somebody has asked you for time. What do you say? What time? What is the time now? Somebody has asked you. Then you say, the time is 5 o'clock. The time is 2 o'clock. You don't say that. You simply say, it is 2 o'clock. What is the time now? Sir, it is 4 o'clock, sir. It is 4:30. It is 10:30. It's 9:30. Whatever it is. Whenever you mention the time. So here, it stands for what? It stands for the time. You cannot say, the time is 5 o'clock. No, it is 5 o'clock now. And then comes, what is that? It is morning. So here, what is that? It stands for what? The part of the day. What part of the day is this? Part of the what part of the day is it? And that means it is morning, sir. It is morning, sir. Now it is afternoon, sir. It is evening. It is evening. In the stories especially, you said it was evening when we were all sitting in the lawn. Suddenly the earth started quaking, something like that. In the stories you come across this kind of thing. It is morning, it is afternoon, it is evening, but here it stands for the part of the day. And here, what is that? It was Saturday. Suppose your friend has asked, what day is it today? Oh, you cannot say today is Thursday, today is Wednesday, today is Friday. Don't say like that, please. Simply say it is Saturday. It is Saturday. It is Wednesday. It is Sunday. Okay. In the stories, you can say it was Friday when he came home and knocked at my door. In the stories, you find such kind of construct. It was Saturday. It is okay like that. Okay. It is summer. So here, what it stands for the day. Okay. Okay. Here, what does it stand for? It stands for the season. The season. What season is this? You say the season is summer. Don't say it is broken English. But you want to speak, you would like to speak only spoken English. And that is why you say it is summer. What season is this? Sir, it's summer, sir. Your teacher has asked you this question. Hey, dear students, what season is this? What season we are in? Suppose your teacher has asked you this question. Then what do you say? It is summer. It is winter. It is spring. It is autumn. Something like that. Okay. And one more example, I think, it's April. What month is this? What month is this, yeah? Then you say, it is April. Now you cannot say, the month is April. The month is April. And here, what was the last year? Somebody has asked you this question. Then what do you say? The last year was 2023. Do you say that? No. If you say that, yours is broken English. But you are saying, if you want to say, what is that? You want to speak spoken English, you must say, it was 2022. See, in all these sentences, the real subject is what? The last year. So these are the real subjects, but it is replacing all of them. So this is another important point you have learned here, sir. Please keep all these things in your mind so that your knowledge of English will expand. What is that? Extensively, okay? Comprehensively, right? And let's go to the next important point. The subject is left out in the imperative sentences. Oh, it's an important thing. Everybody should know that. Okay. Your knowledge of English will grow like anything. The subject is left out in the imperative sentences. First of all, you try to understand, because in my previous video, I have made it clear. What is that? Kinds of sentences. There are four kinds of sentences. Basically, there are four kinds of sentences. What is that? Assertive sentence. Okay, it's that interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, exclamatory sentences. So in this way, there are four kinds of sentences. At that time, I taught you very clearly. Please refer to that video and watch it again, sir. Nobody's watching that. No patience at all. Please have patience and watch it again and again, so that you can have a very good idea about the sentences, kinds of sentences. So here again, I would like to tell you something about imperative sentences. Imperative sentence means the sentences, okay, the sentences that contain, okay, an order or a command, okay, a command or a request, or what is that, a suggestion, okay, a piece of advice, a warning. So like that, these are all any sentence that contains an order or a command or a request or a suggestion or a piece of advice or a warning. What is that? They are all called, what is that? Yes, imperative sentences. And you know very well, these sentences begin with four, I can say four, they have the four specific things. What is that? They generally begin with a base form verb. First form of the verb is called the base form verb. Next, they begin with please. They begin with the don't. Okay. They begin with the let. These are the four features of these sentences. And in these sentences, the second person is omitted. Because these imperative sentences are spoken to the second person. Second person means the person spoken to, with whom you are speaking is the second person. Therefore, again and again, you don't say, hey, you come here, you do this, you go there, you write down, you sleep, you do all these things. You. Every time you don't say. You simply say, hey, come here, yaar. Come here means what? You come here. Here, you is there, but it is understood because you are talking to that you person only. That's why no, you means second person. So come here itself is enough. Come here. Sit down. Okay. You sit down. And get out. Get out from here. You get out from here. So in all these sentences, you, the second person, is generally omitted or implied. Please, very interesting sentences, imperative sentences. Okay. And if you can have the basic knowledge of these sentences, and then you understand how to change them into passive voice, how to change them into indirect speech. All those things will become very easy for you. But if you don't understand this concept, how can you understand those things? So that's why be careful, sir. And now let's go to the examples. What is that? There are given many sentences. I have already given these sentences. All okay. Stand up. Stand up means you stand up. Go away means you go away. Then what is that? Work hard means you work hard. The teacher says, no, dear students, work hard. That means you work hard. Sit down here. You sit down here. Then what is that? Thank you so much. Okay, in these sentences, I have wrongly written. I have not checked these two sentences, please. In these sentences, no, I'm sorry, I is omitted. Generally, in all the imperative sentences, you, the second person, is omitted. Okay, but in two sentences, one more sentence is also given here. Welcome home. See, star marked sentences, please. They are by mistake given. Okay, I'm very sorry for that. I should have checked these two things, but I have not done. I'm very sorry for that. Next time it will not happen on my part. I thank you so much. I welcome you home. I welcome you home. Welcome home means I welcome you home. So that is the meaning. So in these two sentences, I, the first person, is omitted, right? But in all other imperative sentences, you, the second person, is omitted. Please take care of these two sentences. I have by mistake written these things. I'm very sorry for that once again. And now let's go to the important video, important slide, important point. What is that? Sentences beginning with there. They are also very important from the competitive examination point of view. The certain sentences begin with there. It's a must. You cannot say in one way, but they are supposed to be begin with there. How? Here, there are 50 students. So here the actual subject is placed after the verb. What are we talking? Who are we talking about in this sentence? We are talking about the 50 students. This is the subject part. Now we are beginning the sentence with there are. There are 50 students in this class. You state this sentence like there are 50 students in this class. Actually, the sentence is supposed to be like this. Okay, 50 students. Okay, are there in this class. The sentence is supposed to be like this. But here you see that, yes, if you say this sentence, what happens now is, if you say this, it looks somewhat odd. And it also looks somewhat awkward. Okay, they look odd and awkward. Therefore, they are to be avoided. You have to begin them with there only. Okay, there are 50 students in the class. You cannot say 50 students are there in this class. Okay, you cannot say that. And here you see that there is no one to look after him. You cannot say no one is there. No one is there. Look after him. This kind of sentence structure is looking odd and awkward. You have to say there is no one to look after him. Similarly, other sentences are there. There are 20 books for sale. There are 20 books. The other way of writing the sentence is 20 books are there for sale. That is there. But you don't say that. There are 20 books for sale. There was no bus in our sight. No bus was there in our sight. You cannot say that. Okay. There is the book you are looking for. Okay. So the actual subject is placed after the verb. You can watch it. Okay. So this is the actual subject. All the red colored words are red color you can say words are subjects. Okay, so the subjects are placed after the verb in the sentences beginning with there. So in some other video, I'm going to talk to you very elaborately about the use of it and also there. Okay, it's a small video. Please watch that video very shortly. It is going to be uploaded. So please, watch it. And now you go to the next point. Adjunct. What is an adjunct? Adjunct. About this adjunct also, and because all these you can say things you come across in a sentence. That's why I'm giving you some idea about the sentences, sentence parts. Always the subjects are not placed at the beginning. Instead of the real subject, it is used. Sometimes the subject is placed after the verb. So all such things you are following. You are able to understand. You are able to follow. You are able to learn. So now here adjunct. Adjunct means what? Yes, adjunct is nothing but a word or words. Okay, added to the subject. Added to the subject. Word or words added to the subject are called adjunct. Adjunct or adjuncts, it's a noun countable. So adjunct singular, one word. If there are many words, adjuncts, right? Adjuncts. Okay, these adjuncts. Right. Here you pay attention. One example I'll give you. The little boy ran away. So who are we talking about in this sentence? Boy. This is the subject part. And what are we saying? If you are not saying boy ran away, no, you are describing, you are using some other words to describe this subject. What is that? The little. So these two words are describing this boy, and therefore these two words are called adjunct. Okay. Okay. The girl with blue eyes is my sister. Here we are talking about girl. That is the subject part. So to qualify this girl, or we are adding the with blue eyes. All these words we are adding to this subject, and therefore this is an adjunct. These words are adjuncts. And then the tall, gorgeously dressed lady. We are talking about this lady. This is the subject part. Lady is the subject part, but here lady is described by all these words. The tall, gorgeously dressed, all these words are describing this lady. So they are called adjuncts. Okay. And Ashoka the Great was the famous emperor of India. Okay. Here the great, red color word. What are they doing? What these two words are describing this Ashoka. If I simply say Ashoka was the emperor of this country, India, if I say no, it is somewhat simple and ordinary. But here, the Ashoka, the great, you are praising this man, you are qualifying this man. All these red color words are, what are they doing? They are qualifying or describing the subject. So the job of an adjunct is to describe the noun, the subject, to describe the subject. Here in this sentence, boy is the subject, girl is the subject, lady is the subject, Ashoka is subject. So What are these red colored words doing? They are just describing those subjects, those real subjects, and therefore they are called adjuncts, right? And now Gopal, my next door neighbor, is an advocate. Here, suppose these words are not there, red colored words are not there. What do you understand if I say Gopal is an advocate? What do you understand from that? In a colony, there may be two, three or four, some Gopals will be there. In Andhra region, one of my friends says, 10 persons are going, take for granted, in Andhra, when 10 persons are going on the way, if you call, hey Subbarao, then 8 persons will turn and look at you, because majority names will be Subbarao or something like that. Subbarao is a common name in Andhra region. In some other, you can say Gujarat or Northern India, Patel or some common names are there. So here, if I say Gopal is an advocate, you don't understand anything. But here, if I say Gopal, who is Gopal? My next door neighbor. Okay. What are these words doing? These are all adjuncts. What are they doing? They are qualifying or describing this subject. Right? So now you have learnt about the adjunct. Adjunct is what? A word or words, okay, added to describe or qualify the subject. Very clear, very simple. You can easily understand, I'm sure. Let us go to the next slide. Now we are at the end of the video. Very shortly we are coming to an end. Here the double subjects are there. Double subjects. What are the double subjects? Sometimes, the students are inclined. Here you pay attention. Sometimes the students are inclined. Okay, inclined means, forced or inclined. They are inclined to use, what is that? Double subjects, which we should avoid, which they should avoid carefully. Double subject should not be used in a sentence. It becomes a mistake. So keep this important thing in, keep this point in your mind. So, but most of the people are inclined to use double subjects. How? Like this. You leave me alone. Hey, you leave me alone. You leave me alone. You know very well, in leave me alone, it's a word, it's an imperative sentence. You know very well, in every imperative sentence, the subject is included. It is implied, it is understood. Again, why are you using you here? That means you is here and you in this sentence also you is there. Therefore, you are using double subjects in this way. So don't use this. Simply say, hey, leave me alone. That itself is enough. Then what are you doing? You are using again you. So this kind of inclination some students have, some people have. Okay, and then you bring me a glass of water. Redundant, not necessary. You can simply say, hey, bring me a glass of water. That's enough. But here you see that. Okay, one more example. You stop writing for the time is over. In the examination hall, the teacher says, hey, you stop writing. Why say you? Hey, stop writing. The time is up. If you can say this, it is enough. But here the teacher says, the invigilator says, you. Why saying you? Bad. Okay, right. And now double. You shut up. Generally, sometimes girls will, hey, you shut up. So they think, using you, by using you again, they think, they are giving stress, because they might not know that this sentence itself consists of you. Shut up itself means you shut up. But again they use it. You shut up. In several movies or serials, we can come across this kind of dialogue. You keep quiet. Again, already keep quiet has this subject, but again you are using that. You keep quiet. You get out from here. It's a popular dialogue we can hear in the movies or serials or elsewhere. So you say, you get out from here. Why saying you? Not necessary. Get out from here itself is enough. When get out from here itself is enough, why saying you get out from here? Is it not redundant? Redundant means superfluous. over using. So one more thing, you stop there. So you stand up. When you are looking at a boy in the class, the teacher need not say, "Hey, you stand up." Some teachers say that. I'm not finding fault with them, but I don't understand why they use this kind of double subjects. Hey, stand up. That's enough. But you say, hey, you, not necessary. You stand up with them. So in this way, sir. Now let's go to the next important point. Now you look at this. I can say ninth rule, ninth important point. Use of double subjects becomes unavoidable. In some cases, in certain situations, using double subjects becomes unavoidable. Just now I have taught you that we should not use double subjects. Okay, right. But in some, what is that, situations or cases, using double subjects may become unavoidable. Unavoidable. Okay, how? Let us see that. Sometimes and in some cases, and here you see that, you idiot, how dare you call me my names? Look at this there. Sometimes that the heroine might say this dialogue, "You idiot, how dare you call me names, you idiot." So you are using the subject here, again the subject here, two subjects you are using, because in such situations it is unavoidable. And like this, and you naughty boy, go away from here. The girl, very fondly, very with a love, she says, "You naughty boy, go away." So you is a subject, and naughty boy is also a subject. So two subjects are here. Okay, it's there. And then comes, "You rascal, don't you have manners?" Occasionally we shall be listening to this kind of dialogue in our serials, in the serials or in movies. "You rascal, don't you have..." You rascal is is a subject, and you is also a subject. Okay, two subjects are used. And then, "You students, you need not attend the classes tomorrow. The headmaster has come into the class." All the students have got up, and now the headmaster says, "You students, you need not come tomorrow. You need not come to school tomorrow, because tomorrow is Mahavir Jayanti. So you need not come to school tomorrow." Something like that. And "You dirty goose, you get out from my class." So here, subject and subject, and "you dirty goose" subject. Okay, "You rogue, how dare you propose to me." In the movies you can come across this dialogue. The heroine says, "You rogue, how dare you propose to me." कितना दम है आप मुझे प्रपोज करने का, क्या हिम्मत है मुझे सब प्रपोज करने का, "You rogue." So this is one subject, and this is also another subject. So in all these sentences, generally in certain situations like this, two subjects are used, and that is unavoidable. Okay, keep it in mind. Okay, now let's go to the next part. Next point. Here two things are there. What is that? How to find the subject. Remember how to find the subject. So when you question the verb with what or who, you get the subject. How? Here you see that Sheila sings well. You say, who sings well? Who sings well? If you question the verb with who, automatically you can come across. You can find the subject. So subject can be found out by asking the verb a question like what or who. Who for persons, what for things. Right. And here you see that the sun shines brightly. What shines brightly? What? What shines brightly? The sun. Similarly, the Indians are playing the first innings. Who are playing the first innings? Who? Here you ask. Who? Then you find the Indians. This is subject part. To find out the subject part is very easy. Question the verb with what or whom, then you get the subject part. Then okay. And here, what is that? New Delhi is the capital of India. What is the capital of India? What? New Delhi. Okay. And then comes the wind is blowing very strongly. What is blowing strongly? The wind. What? What? Like that. So, dear learners of English grammar, so here this is how to find the uh, what is that sentences, right? And okay, with this, I'm winding up this video. Please watch this video again and again so that you may have a good command of English. Okay, grammar, right? So you can be well aware of all these parts of the sentences, and moreover you can be well familiar with what's that subject position. Sometimes, most of the time, subject is placed at the beginning, but sometimes the subject is placed after the predicate part. So it's like that. Okay, all these things you have learned. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and also please share this video with your good friends, and please watch it. Thank you so much for now. See you in with another video, right?